Hey guys, welcome back to Arc Mobile. Today we're going to be going over the best travel mounts in the game, in my opinion, of course. I did a video like this quite a while ago, but Arc has had many updates and changes to it, as well as new creatures, so I thought it would be better to make a new one. And we're going to start over here on this side. Um, um, we're going to start over here with the Saver and say goodbye to it because they suck now. Now, over here with the true number one is the Wolf, and the reason I think the Wolf is better than the Saver now is because it got a TLC and it can now wear helmets, which provide it with better armor, so it'll take a lot less damage. And because initially wolves already had a higher base health than sabers, I believe. So this is the reason that I'm choosing wolves over sabers. That doesn't mean sabers aren't good. It just means wolves are better. I do think that sabers still are faster though. Let's go over to the one I kept hidden over here. Yeah, definitely faster. Give me a second. Just a little cannibalism. So yeah, the Saber is definitely faster, but it can only have saddles, and I think helmets have a better armor stat just in general, depending on the helmet, but you know what I mean. So that's why I'm choosing the Wolf over the Saber. Next up is, these are very similar, these three, so I'm kind of grouping them together. We have the Sarco, the Baryonyx, and the Capro. Now, the reason I say that these are very similar is because they all do pretty much the same thing. The Baryonyx is probably the best out of the three for traveling on land. Because it's the fastest and it has the most amount of health. In the water, it is pretty fast, but the Sarco is definitely faster. It also has its ability that you can only use in water that stuns creatures. I think. Let's see. Let's get back over here. Now, the Sarco has similar stats to the Berry, I believe, but it is way faster in the water. And the reason this is on the best travel mounts list is because, as you can see, the island is full of rivers, which the Sarco can swim in, and you can use to get around fairly easily. And finally, we have the Capro. The Capro is probably the weakest one, but it is also fairly fast with the jump until it goes squish. In water, it's not too great, and it does have an oxygen stat, which I think that the Baryonyx and Sarco both don't. That sounds so weird. But yeah, these three are very similar in what they do and how they operate. Let's move them out of the way a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna save this one for last. So the Raptor and the Terrorbird are also very similar. They're both very fast, um, and I think stat-wise they're also similar. Mhm. Personally, I prefer the Raptor just because of the pounceability that it received with the TLC. Um, Most of these creatures both have very low weight, so that's something to keep in mind when choosing what you want your travel mount to be. But they are also fairly strong for their size. Now, the reason I like the Terror Bird is because of its special ability and the fact that it can glide, and it's pretty quick when it's gliding, as you can see. And you do use stamina when you use that. And I believe it's also faster than the Raptor. Alright, let's see, what's next? Next up is the Iguanodon. Now this is a very good mount because it doesn't use stamina when running on all fours, and it is pretty quick. It's pretty fast, as you can see. The fact that it doesn't use stamina means you can just run indefinitely, which makes it pretty good for getting away. As you can see, this dino isn't really a fighter, but if you need to get away, you will be able to easily. Alright, what's next? Yeah, let's go with the Equus. In this case, it's the unicorn, just because I don't have an Equus and I was too lazy to go out and tame one. But it's basically the same. The only difference is the unicorn is harder to tame because it requires griffin kibble, and the unicorn has the special ability. But the Equus in general is a very good tame. You can use it as a portable mortal and pestle. Its secondary attack, the kick, is very oh my god, it's very quick. I mean, it's very useful for knocking out dinos, as you saw with that Dillo. And I forgot to mention, you can pull out weapons on all of these. And for the wolf and the Equus, you do not need a saddle to ride them, and that is very helpful early on. But not having a saddle means that they will take less damage. So that's why it's good to put a saddle on your Equus and a helmet on your wolf. Okay, finally we've gotten to the Procoptodon, which is probably the best one, I'd say. These weren't really in any specific order, but this one is probably my favorite just because of how fast it is, and because you can just get from point A to point B extremely quickly. Like, this thing is, it's bonkers how fast this thing is. And with the jump, you can cover lots of distance very quickly as well. And it also takes very extremely reduced fall damage. So if you jump off a mountain, you won't take much damage at all. Now I'll go over some honorable mentions as I walk around on the Spino, and we make our way to an alpha that I wanted to fight. Okay, honorable mentions. There is the frog. I didn't put that on the list mostly because I myself don't use it often, and because of the fact that I think generally has lower base stats, and they are a little difficult to breed because you have to breed them in the water. So that's why I didn't include it on the list. But it is still pretty decent, I'd say. I didn't include the dire bear this time because I think the wolf is probably better. And while the dire bear is very fast, it can be hard to maneuver it because of how fast it is going. The Shally, or Calicotherium, is also fairly good, and it did get a TLC itself, and it can now wear helmets like the Procomptodon, which I forgot to mention, and the Wolf, which give it bonus armor, but it isn't a very fast mount, and it gets stuck on the terrain very easily. That's why I chose not to include that one. Another dino that is decent, but I chose not to include, is the Gigantopithecus, the Bigfoot, because it's good and it's fast, but it cannot jump. And I feel for a creature that is meant for traveling, it is very good for it to be able to jump, to get over terrain easier. But it can wear a helmet, the Bigfoot, so that does give it more armor than most creatures. I think that's about it for the honorable mentions, and we should be getting close to that Alpha Rex. Yeah, there it is. Alright, let's show him who's boss. Man, look at this guy. He's got nothing on us. I think we're actually pushing him back. Alright, we're gonna run out of stamina here kind of quickly. So, is there any water nearby? I don't think there is. The river's too far down. See, how's our stamina doing? Oh my goodness, our stamina is very low. Okay. Tactical retreat. Oh god, I think he's faster than us. Give it a minute for stam to regen. Alright, here we go. Round 2. Alright, they got this. He's about to die. We're actually, I think, the same size as him, which is pretty cool. Imagine Alpha Spinosaurus. But let's see if he has anything on him. He does not, so that probably means you got it. Where's the Alpha trophy? Yeah, it doesn't look like we got anything. Oh god. Take care of these guys. Crap. There we go. Alright, and I think that'll be it for today. I just wanted to make a quick little video, kind of test out this new recording setup, see how it does with you guys, how you guys like it. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos in the future. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more. I know in a few days probably I'll be interviewing Thomas, the CEO of Wardrum Studios, the guys who develop Arc Mobile. Don't tell them I forgot the name. But yeah, I'll be interviewing him with Squatch. Mr. Squatch 93. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Have a good day and see you later.